So today we are just thinking about what can we bring into our yoga practice from things that are not yoga related, meaning that they are not necessarily things that we do on the mat, things that we do at a specific time, chores that we have to do, obligations that we have to accomplish. Which of these things that we do can we take them as we do our yoga practice, or as we should take our yoga practice, which is with love and care. Hello, Shreya. We are thinking about which chores of ours, which things that we do on a day-to-day we can approach with resilience, with intention, with connection with the breath, which chores, like for me, tax return can be done not all at once and choking on it, but with love, with pleasure, trying to see your advancements, trying to take that journey. And with that in mind, bring your hands together, bow, say namaste. Wonderful. And roll yourselves over your knees, coming into all fours, please. Good. And from all fours, we're going to do the bear stretch. So it is a little bit like cat-cow, but imagine that you're a big grizzly bear and you're waking up from hibernation and you go, ah, ah. Just wherever way your body is asking you to move it. And you can do the roaring as well. I like to roar. So sometimes we feel stuck when we have to be creative with our movement. But be childlike and see what you can do, see what shapes you can bring yourselves into. And maybe bring your toes together, knees apart, and release your forehead onto the floor. Inhale, exhale. And bring yourselves onto your shins, rolling up into sitting. Have your hands loose by the side of the body and roll your shoulders back. And roll your shoulders forwards. Bring your fingertips to one side, it doesn't matter which side, and just arch the side of the body. That's it. Good. And change sides. And you can move your head just to feel where your head feels best. Do it again. To one side. Opening the side body, and to the other side. Lovely. Now, bring your arms open, like if you were going to give a big hug, looking up a little bit. Open your chest, feel the stretch, and then hug yourself. Arching towards your knees. Inhale, open up, looking up. Exhale, hug yourself. Elbows towards the knees, making a C shape with the spine. One more, inhale. Exhale, hug yourselves. And release. Lovely. Now your head. Just move your head side to side a little bit.
Jenny?
Yes?
I think for me, you're frozen. I don't know for everyone.
Oh.
I think for everyone, you're stuck.
She's frozen for me.
I can see you.
Frozen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank
Hello.
you. I wonder, let me see.
Now you're not frozen anymore.
You're fine now.
I know, I just switched it on and off, but yeah, okay, good. So I don't know where you got to. Were you doing your head? Yeah, doing the head. Let's do the head. That's it. Don't go too far back, Thais. So the head, when you bring it towards the back, keep it at the same level as the shoulder. If you go too far back, you might impinge on the veins at the back. Lovely, good. Now, can you tag your toes and come into a hero's pose with your toes under and sit on them again? I know it's painful, but we're straightening the toesies. So could you just move side to side a little bit, feeling the whole of your toes there. And release. And lift your knees towards your chest. Fingertips by the sides of your shins and lift up. So it looks quite impressive, but it's not difficult. You just bring your chest forwards, you bring your fingertips, and then you send the weight back onto your hips, and your hands will help you. That's it. Good. Stretching the feet forwards and backwards. And bring your hands onto the floor. Have your middle finger pointing forwards. Check that your arms are shoulder distance apart. And we're going to do from there, you're sitting on your hips, and we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow from here. So the movement is a lot smaller than if you were in all fours, but you can feel your spine and you can feel it moving. Okay, there we go. Good. Now, come onto your hands, tag your toes under, and come into your downward facing dog. As we were on our hero's pose for a little bit, you might feel that your knees need a nice stretch. So do it slowly, letting your heels come towards the floor. Great. And from down dog, we're going to come straight into plank, opening the chest and feeling your plank. And back into down dog. Inhale, come into plank. And can you bring your right leg up? Release, back into down dog. Keep your lower abdomen in, pelvic floor in and up. Come into plank. And lift the left leg just at the same height as your hips. And release, back into down dog. Inhale, come into plank. And lift your right hand up. Yes, that's it. Release. Come back into down dog. So we're challenging ourselves. Back into plank. Left arm up. Your weight will have to go towards your right a little bit. Yes, that's it. Well done, Philippa. Bring it back. Good. Look towards your hands. Bring your right leg up and bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Yeah, that's it. This is called lizard pose. So imagine that you're a lizard and you're just walking around in the sunshine, trying to feel that stretch on your hips. And then maybe release the back knee onto the floor and sway side to side. Sticking your tongue out on your lizard pose is only optional. So, Kathy and Philippa, I'm trying to move the hips more than the shoulders. So, yes, that's it. Good, lovely. Well done, Taz. Well done, Liz. Yes, fabulous. And from here, lift the back knee. And we're going to place our hands firmly on the floor and come back into your downward facing dog. And walk the dog. Bring the left leg up, look towards your hands and bring the left foot to the outside of your left hand. And you're in your lizard pose, which has had a big plop from my hip. If your hips do make noises, it's normal. As long as there is no pain, it's because they're realigning. So bring your knee onto the floor and just research. And you can walk your hands away or bring it back. Trying to feel the whole of your hip joint. Lovely. Take your toes under, come up into your downward facing dog. Good. And we're going to speed it up a little bit. So, Geraldine, you can go halfway. So we're going to bring one leg forwards and then the other one. Because Geraldine is recovering from an injury, she can go halfway. And any of you, if you feel that going all the way towards their hands is too much for you, just go halfway and that's fine. You're already doing the movement. Halfway will activate the hip, although you won't get that much of a stretch. So right leg and left leg, and right leg and left leg, right and left, right, left, last two, last one. Good, lovely, and back to center. Our arms are working hard today. And we're going to come into plank. And we're going to walk your plank. So walk, 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 walk. You can tap the floor or just walk, bending your knees. Keep your chest open. Yeah, that's it. And down dog. When I'm doing these type of things is when I started discovering that down dog can be a resting posture in comparison to the other ones. Now, if we're going to come back into bringing the legs forwards, if you feel strong and that this wasn't too much, then you jump with both legs. If not, halfway is fine, or bringing the foot all the way forwards. Okay, we're going to do it 7 times. When you're ready, whichever way you do it. So if you're doing side to side, it will be 8 times. If you're jumping, 7. Are we ready? Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ha. Child's pose. Ah. Breathe. So nice to feel the heart beating, eh? Walk your hands towards your feet, towards your knees. And tag your toes under, coming up into your standing posture at the back of the mat. Lovely. So we're going to be using what we just developed, using our hip stretch and our upper body stretch, getting to a deeper level with Humble Warrior. So Humble Warrior, Violetta, you might not know it. Ellie, I don't think you know it. Humble Warrior, we go like in a Warrior One position. So the legs are train tracking. They're not in one line. The legs are one, it's more or less like hip distance apart. One leg comes back. Well, in this case, we're going to probably bring it forward. And then you will interlace your fingers behind your back. You have to make sure that the leg doesn't go inwards. You keep the knee over the ankle. The arms will stretch back. And then you're going to bring your chest towards the front knee. But watch this. If you rest your belly or your chest on your leg, is cheating, okay? So the chest goes in between and the arms are stretching overhead. Is that clear? Yes, that's it, Kathy. Yeah.
Can I do it with a high lunge? Because I can't do Warrior One.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. You should not do, if you have sacroiliac pain, you should always keep your back heel off and the legs like this. And for you, Geraldine, you can even have both knees bent so that there is no so much stretch. So both knees bend. If you bend both knees, the lower back will get less stretch, but you still get the stretch on the shoulders. That's it, Davika. Now, everybody seems to be doing it right. If you find that this is too much for your arms, you can get a sock, for instance, and hold it with a sock. So with a sock or a belt, the arms are not so demanded upon, and you can try it. All righty, here we go. Stand at the back of your mat. We're going to put the Humble Warrior within a flow. So first of all, check that your feet are hip distance apart and spread your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Shake anything, any tensions that you may have. Humble Warrior will help us stretch the shoulders and open up the chest. So go with gentleness, trying to strengthen the front leg as well, because you are keeping your chest not resting on the thigh, but in between your legs towards the front leg. Inhale, bring your arms up, stretching towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands onto your shins and flatten your back. Exhale, bring your hands onto the floor and come into your downward facing dog. Walking towards your ideal down dog, which is like an inverted V. Inhale, look towards your hands and come into plank. Bring your knees onto the floor. Keep your belly engaged. Open the chest, shoulders back and down, and release your belly down into crocodile. Push your hands onto the floor, cobra or baby cobra down here. If your back is hurting, you come to the cobra that you can do without your hands pushing on the floor. Exhale, release down, tag your toes, down dog. Inhale, right leg up, look towards your hands and bring the right foot to the outside of your right hand so that you're sure that it's not in the same line as the back one. So from here, we are like in a lizard pose. It's a wide, it will be a little bit wide for warrior one, but I want us to have that space. We're going to come up into a high lunge and then release the back heel onto the floor. If this is too much, you could even do it from having your knee on the floor, Geraldine, you can try that. So coming up, now release the back heel onto the floor. Front knee is over the front ankle, the back heel is on the floor, toes are facing forwards. Bring your hands onto your hip, and your hips are trying to face towards the right leg, but don't force them, don't force them. So you can check if you bring your heels out, how your hip can move a lot more. If your back heel is down on the floor, then there is less movement. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Check that your knee is not falling inwards, it's going towards the outer edge of the foot. And open your chest, trying to detach your hands from your hips. And breathe. If your breath is impaired in this position, then maybe this is all that you need to do, and you need to lower your hands a little bit. So your breath should be constant, open, and not laborious. If you feel that your breath is okay and you want to try the humble warrior, then bring your chest between your legs towards the right leg with your hands coming over. I can feel that my fingers are sliding away from each other. So maybe instead of interlacing your fingers, you can hold onto your wrist or hold one thumb. Inhale, bring yourselves up, release the arms, shake your arms, lift the back heel. So we are in a high lunge. Bring your arms up. Breathe deeply. Can you deepen into the front knee, straighten the back leg, look towards the floor, bend the back knee, bring the hands onto the ground, and bring the right leg back into all fours. Good. We're going to do a cat-cow. Arch your back and extend. Arch the back and extend. One more. Arch. Back extension. Tuck your toes under. Come up into your downward facing dog. Belly's in. Lower abdomen in. Come into plank. Knees onto the floor or lower into chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. Inhale, left leg up and bring the left foot to the outside of your left hand. So we're going to come up. You can be with your knee on the floor, otherwise lower the back heel onto the ground. Have your hands onto your hips, feeling the knee over the ankle. Good. Interlace your fingers or hold your hands. See because I did a oil massage this morning, my hands are slipping away. So I'm holding my hands by holding my thumb. You can also hold them from the wrist. So if you are interlacing your fingers, doesn't stick the hands together, find another way, because having your hands well held will help you to come into the full posture of your humble warrior. Humble warrior. Breathe. Shake your head. Feel the opening of your shoulders, of your arms. One more breath. And inhale, coming up. Bring your arms up, lift the back heel, high lunge. Breathe deeply, inhale. And as you exhale, release your hands onto the floor, back knee is on the ground. Bring the left knee back. Cat-cow for 3, 2, and 1. And you can bring your knees together, your toes together, knees apart, and come into your child's pose. Have a couple of breaths there, releasing your body. And then you can either stay there. We're coming towards the end of our class today. You can stay there, or you can lie down, or you can come into sitting. So whichever option you want, take it. And if you're lying down, having a rest, you can stay on your Shavasana after we've finished the class, so that you can reap all of the benefits from what we've been doing. Wherever you're at, just allow your eyes to close. And breathe deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting yourselves arrive to this morning, to this day, to this space. And perhaps you can think back to that chore that you are going to turn it into your yoga. Now that you have moved your energy around, does it feel different? Does it bring emotions into your body that are perhaps new, more manageable? And give yourselves a little smile. You got this. We are the queens. We are capable of anything. Let's finish with our Oms and Shantis. Inhale to begin. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Bring your palms together. Rub your palms. Make the movement a little faster, generating prana between your hands. And place your palms over your face. Inhale deeply. Open your eyes to the darkness of your hands. Slide your hands to your chest. Bow your head. Namaste. Give yourselves a clap. Well done.